Hiya, it's Ricky Knight, and I'm just filming this from my indoor unit here in Northampton. Just finished for the day, it's a Friday. It's been a tough old week, a real tough old week, and I think a lot of people, when they sort of talk to me and look at how things are going here for myself and Alex for our business, they naturally assume, because we're so outgoing and bubbly and upbeat, that it's always like that, and we're just sort of naturally very motivated people. And the truth of the matter is that on a daily basis I find a lot of things incredibly difficult. I've got a huge fear of failure, and this is something that probably I've had for a few years, and I can probably pinpoint how it's kind of come about. But the fact is, on a daily basis, what I'm trying to do with our members is trying to push them outside their comfort zone, get them to train outside their comfort zone. And I suppose it sort of seems slightly hypocritical if I'm not prepared to do that myself. So filming this is meant to be a way of getting me outside of my own comfort zone, because it's not an easy thing to talk about, not something that I've shared with people, family and close friends. I haven't even shared it with them. But at the same time, it's a really good way for me to kind of just get it off my chest as well. I mean, as I say, I think I can pinpoint when all of this happened. It was a few years ago, 2008 to be precise. In fact, if I go back a few years before that, I was the joint owner in a financial services company here in Northampton, and it was a successful company, and it was just caught on the back of the tidal wave that was the mortgage industry at that time. And we had about 30 staff, and we were sort of bringing in about £120,000 a month. We're turning over well over £1 million, £1.5 million a year, pounds, and then the shit really hit the fan. And so I kind of went from thinking I was this, what was I? I was probably 28, no, I was about 30. 30 when we had the company, and 32 when the whole thing just collapsed from around us. And the quite embarrassing thing about all of this is that I had to beg, borrow and steal to get the money that was required from me personally to buy the company in the first place. We did a management buyout. So there was about £50,000 raised, and a lot of that was borrowed from Alex's mum and dad, and then there was money that we got from selling a house, and £50,000 is a lot of money to try and find, but we did it. And then I had 4 partners, and they all did the same. And we then borrowed in total, I think, about £1 million, maybe about £900,000. This is when the banks were quite happily lending, and it was a reflection of the time, I suppose. So we were borrowed up to our eyeballs, really, loads of debt, and then I just didn't have the fight. I didn't. It's quite embarrassing, but I wasn't in love with the industry. I didn't really like it, and when the shit hit the fan, I just could not be bothered to fight for it. And as I say, Alex's mum and dad have put an enormous amount of faith in me as a person, as their son-in-law, by lending me all that money, and I let them down big time. Absolutely let them down, and it really hurts me to this day, because I still haven't paid them back. We've paid a good chunk of the money back, but we still haven't. And anyway, that all kind of happened, and I was caught in an industry then that no one was hiring, and company car went back, income obviously went, and it was a very difficult time. And I thought the best thing to do would be to try and find work elsewhere. So on the back of that, well, I considered to be a failure at the time, that company. I then moved abroad without Alex, and we'd had my son Harrison then, so decided to move abroad. I tried out Madrid first of all, and I tried to make a go of it out there. as a self-employed expat advisor. And it was shocking. I was terrible at it. And I'd always been really good. I thought I'd been really good at everything I'd done up to that point. And I failed miserably at that. And then on the back of that, so I was only out in Madrid for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden I was like, right, it hasn't worked here, but it's the location. It wasn't me. And so I could see that there were lots of people, friends of mine, that were doing very well out in Dubai. And so I decided to go and give Dubai a go. So Alex is pregnant with our second child, Georgina, at this point. And I mean, it hurt enormously having to leave the family behind. So sort of go and try it out. And I went to Dubai, and it was just history repeating itself again. You know, I was self-employed. I was sort of trying to get out there, trying to drum up business, and cold calling on phones. I mean, it just reminded me of like the Wolf of Wall Street, to be honest with you. And I was like one of the brokers trying to sell dodgy plans to expats out there, and it just didn't sit right with me. You know, these plans were not something that I would buy personally, and I felt really uncomfortable advising others to try and take them as well, wealthy expats. And so I had to come home after that as well. So that's literally 3 things in a row that just did not work out. Again, I'd borrowed money off Alex's mum and dad to try and get out there. I convinced them that I'd make it work. And it didn't. And I got back, and we were living with Alex's mum and dad, and I felt bad, really, really bad. We just had our second child, Georgina, so we had 2 kids. You know, we couldn't afford our house at the time, that was rented out. I didn't have a job, and it was just, it was not a good position to be in. And so I did what, the only thing that I knew how to do, which was set up another financial services company here in the UK. And I did that, and actually that went pretty well, but the setup of it wasn't done correctly, and I basically just ended up getting in an enormous amount of debt from policies that were sold, and then if they were cancelled within like 2 years, we would have a reclaim, and to this day we're still paying debts off for those reclaims for people that are still cancelling their plans. And that was a company that I got a business partner in, and we were doing okay, but we should have put money aside to cover these reclaims, and so I ended up walking away from that for a nominal sum. And literally about 2 years ago, I was just, on the verge of depression. I remember going to the doctors about it, and I just did not know which way to turn. And the thing that I'd always had a passion for was fitness, and I just thought, why not? You know, if we lose our house, then so what? I'm going to go down fighting. I'm going to go down doing something that I absolutely love, and that's health and fitness. And even though I'd let myself go during that very stressful period, Alex was a rock throughout. She supported me throughout, and then we started the Fitter Body Bootcamp business, and then. Because there's a big difference actually, because I was then doing something that I had a genuine passion for. It's something that's grown at a tremendous rate, and I'm in complete control of it. I haven't got loads of debts all over the place. You know, I'm still paying off some of those old financial services ones, but there's not debts all over the place. And so this is something that is going really, really, really well. Set up another company which is a mentoring site for personal trainers, and teaching them how to market themselves properly, and use things like Facebook to sort of generate new inquiries, and that's going really well as well. But because of all of that stuff that has happened in the recent past, there isn't a day that goes by where I still have that fear. I still have that sick feeling in my stomach that I'm going to let everyone down. And it's got better, and it's something that I try incredibly hard to almost try and fight off. Acknowledge it, but try and fight off. But it's still kind of hovering there, and it's a real tough thing to just to deal with on a regular basis. And so if we go through a dip whereby inquiries are down and people start leaving and that sort of thing, then all of a sudden I'm like in panic mode again, thinking that everything's going to come crashing down. And of course I'm being silly, but there's just that horrible fear. You know, I want to get to the point where, you know, I can start paying Alex's mum and dad off properly and that sort of thing. And it's, as I say, it's quite an embarrassing thing, really. The fear of failure is something that I've just got to deal with on a daily basis, as I say. And already I'm feeling better, actually, just kind of sharing this. It's how can I put it? It's my biggest fear. It's my biggest challenge, and it is not going to go away. It's probably always going to be there, just because it's the nature of what I do. It's part and parcel of being a business owner and trying to grow a business, and it's just how I then handle it. And I was advised by a business mentor, actually, that I've employed recently, to kind of share some of this stuff, and he said, just get it out there in social media, and let those people that know you know that this is how you feel, and you're not hiding anything then, and that in itself will be a massive step in the right direction, and I think he's absolutely right. So there you go, guys, warts and all, Ricky Knight Uncut. Thanks for listening, and I hope to inspire you, work with you at some point in the future. And I think just to let you know that I get it. I get how difficult it can be to push yourself through your comfort zone, to battle demons that are in your head, to tackle things that you think you can't do. I get it. I totally understand and empathise with all of those thoughts that a lot of you probably have as well, whether it's your business or whether it's your body. So, again, thanks for listening, and as I say, I hope to work with you, help you, inspire you, encourage you, motivate you, not just this video, but with other stuff coming up as well in the future. I'll speak to you soon.